Vasilije Micic is back, and when I say back, he's back to what we're used to seeing. He's scoring about 16 points per game now for Hapoel Tel Aviv. They are playing really, really good basketball, and I just feel like Vasa came home where he belongs. This is my feeling. Like, this is my actual feeling. He's back in the league where the athleticism level is suiting him, where the play style, the speed of the game suits him, where obviously we'll talk about his role in the team also suits him much more. And of course, he's in shape, something that we were questioning when he was playing for the Serbian national team this September in the Eurobasket. He didn't have a good prep. Now you can tell that he has prepped, he has put his body in a game shape, and it shows. So what are you thinking about Vasilije Micic?
Let's not go that he's back. I'm used to seeing him in the MVP form. And I don't think this is peak Micic from what we are seeing. But we are on a good track. Okay. We are on a good track to see the real Micic back. And like I said during the Eurobasket, the problem was not only that Micic was not in the top shape back then. The problem was that Svetislav Pesic were playing him for short stints and mostly off the ball. And the guard just couldn't feel the rhythm of the game. That was also sometimes that simple. Here in Hapoel, there are a lot of good ball handlers. Chris Jones, Elijah Bryant, Antonio Blakeney playing a lot of one-on-one and doing that efficiently. But Micic really feels like he's getting back into the shape. And there was one situation that reminded me of how great Micic can be. Was he's playing pick and roll to the right, he's going pretty fast, and then he's changing direction without losing that speed, like a real skier move. And we know he used to ski when he was back, when he was a kid. He goes in, bumps his defender, then later scores 2 points, and that was like, okay, this is we are getting back the real Vasilije Micic. He's getting back into the shape. I would love him to cut down the turnovers a little bit. The game against Maccabi was not really that great with 6, but and so far he has 17 assists and 13 turnovers. So that's maybe not an assist to turnover ratio that we are used to see from Micic, but he's definitely on the right track and one of the reasons why Hapoel is winning.
And regarding the role, like you said, he is now in the right role. When we were talking about the NBA, when we were talking about the Serbian national team, off the ball, Micic is not your efficient Micic. You need him to have the ball, and he right now is in the top 10 of the EuroLeague in terms of usage percentage. If you look at players who plays 20 or more minutes per game, and his teammate, actually Chris Jones, is number 5 in the EuroLeague. Can you guess who is number 1? Just out of curiosity. Very simple answer, like straightforward.
Nadir Hifi?
Yeah. He's 36.8% usage percentage. So almost every
third
more than every third possession is involving his actions.
Everything is in Hifi's and Justin Robinson's hand.
But essentially, Micic is being used as much as Wade Baldwin is, as much as Mike James is, as much as Kendrick Nunn is. So you can tell that this is a completely different role for him. And I feel like when I look at this Vasa Micic and this Hapoel, then I'm looking at this good old Anadolu Efes from back in the day. Because Chris Jones reminds me of Shane Larkin in many ways. He's a bit undersized, just like Larkin. He's actually a bit taller, but still, he's like 1 meter 88 centimeters or something. He plays with the ball a lot. He's a ball-dominant guard. He can pull up from 3. He can pull up from the mid-range. He facilitates. He drives, kicks the ball out. Then there's all these other guys you already mentioned, like Antonio Blakeney and Elijah Bryant. And I feel like when you have a lot of these guys who can play with the ball and who can pass, who have the vision and have a system, which I think we should credit Dimitris Itoudis for the amazing ball movement of this team, the way that ball swings from one side to the other, finds the open man. That's when you are seeing this beautiful basketball and beautiful offense from them.
I agree because they have... I like their unselfishness against Valencia, but we can't really not forget a fact that, Valencia with Pedro Martinez plays just one pick and roll defensive system. That is hedging defense, step out, whatever you call it, show. And this forces you to make the extra pass, to make the quick pass, to make quick reads. And Hapoel, we're ready for that because they played Valencia last season in the Euro Cup semifinal, and the system is the same. So they knew what to expect because, as I mentioned, Valencia plays every game more or less defensively the same. But despite that fact that, Valencia made it easier for them, you still had to make the right decision. I love how Chris Jones, how Vasa got rid of the ball really quickly. The ball was flying throughout the court. And I love this one situation. I don't know if you noticed it, but in the middle of the second quarter, I think, Vasa made an ankle breaker by simply faking a pass to the corner. And that put the defender on the ground. Then came 2 extra passes from Hapoel. And I think Antonio Blakeney made a three-pointer from the corner. That was an interesting play, how Micic just broke the defender's ankles by a fake pass. I'm not sure how many times I've seen that in basketball. So that was a fun part. But for example, last week against Maccabi, there was no such great ball movement. It was a little bit different, couple of different defensive systems, and Hapoel was not in that game, I think, mentally as they were against Valencia. But that was probably the best game for Maccabi and the worst game for Hapoel this season. That's their only loss in the EuroLeague. So yeah, I think it's early, but Hapoel and Micic are showing some really great signs, especially offensively. So much talent and so much unselfishness so far.
Yeah, and Antonio Blakeney, I wanted to come back to him for a second. My comparison to FS was also like, I thought about, okay, what players remind me of what? So Blakeney is like Rodrigue Bobois on steroids, not like literally on steroids, but the way he's producing right now. He's the top scorer of the team, 17.5 points. He's shooting 3-pointers at, let me tell you, it's a crazy number. It's like over 60%. His 3-point percentage at the moment is 65%. So he's taking 5 threes, making 3.3 3-pointers a game. And most of those come like from catch and shoot situations where he's just standing in the corner. And you have all these guys who can handle the ball. This is what I love the most about this team, that any one of those 4 guys, whether it's Chris Jones, Micic, Elijah Bryant, or Blakeney, can take the ball and decide the possession if needed. They can play one-on-one, they can attack, and then if they see someone open, they kick it out, and then the ball moves. I love the most that the ball moves a lot, and you get these open shots. So Blakeney is just incredible so far. His efficient shooting. Sometimes he takes the ball and he just plays one-on-one too. So
a lot of times.
Yeah. Well, but more, I've seen him more without the ball than with the ball because of how much Chris Jones and Micic dominate the ball.
But there's some interesting moments where, Chris Jones plays a couple of pick and rolls, Vasa plays pick and rolls, Elijah Bryant plays, and then Itudis just calls for an isolation play. Like you're seeing a sideline out of bounds play, and it's just simple. It's just give the ball to Antonio Blakeney, and everybody get the out of the way. Just plays one-on-one basketball, and he is a killer, man. One-on-one, it's so tough to stop him, especially when he is shooting with these percentages. He's so good at drawing fouls as well. He's doing really well to start his EuroLeague season.
The only thing about this team is obviously their front court, where we see a little bit of, let's say, gaps, and where we would want to see a bit more. That's, when you have Bruno Caboclo injured, that really complicates the situation, because without him, there's essentially 3 rotation players in the front line. So that's obviously Dan Oturu as their main center. Then Jonathan Motley is playing sort of like a backup to Dan Oturu, but also played the 4 position last game. Yeah. And Ish Wainwright is another big. But otherwise, they're kind of short in that department, and defensively especially, that's the biggest problem. When they'll face guys with bigger front line, with bigger bodies, I think that they might be vulnerable, especially with the tendency of Jonathan Motley getting fouls early. He's still averaging like 2.5 fouls in 13 minutes. which is, a lot. And he still commits those same mistakes that he had in his rookie season way back with Fenerbahce.
The fun part about Motley that right now, after 4 yearly games, the worst percentage that he has is free throws. 75.
Right.
2-pointers are 77. 3-pointers are...
And he made one 3-pointer.
He made one, yeah. So... But that's 4 games to you. I agree with points that you mentioned. I still think they kind of need an addition, but Caboclo is not there. Tayo Diase played only 3 games, played just 6 minutes. Another center there. Ish Wainwright so far has been playing enormous minutes, actually 27 per game. That's second most in that team. So he's playing a huge role. But I think he's accepted his role very well, and also, other guys on that team, I think, also have accepted their role. So, I like that.
Short rotation doesn't remind you of some team from Istanbul?
Some particular team, that Micic played in.
Yeah.
I agree. But as far as I know, Hapoel at the moment are not looking for additions. But I think, the season is long and they have the ability to upgrade. So if they need someone, they'll probably go get someone.
I don't know if you agree, but I just feel like they play very modern basketball where there's some isolation, some individual plays, there's ball movement. The team itself is quite mobile. Everyone can play with the ball. The bigs are mobile. There's this modern approach, I feel like.
I agree, but we have to agree on what is modern. Modern is current. Depends. For example, I think...
You think Paris is modern?
Paris
probably.
And Valencia are this modern, but probably they are more about future than modern. Yeah. And I think this is modern.
They're postmodern. That's what it's called.
Yeah. I like that one.
Yeah.
We are taking now arts eras into basketball.
But
who is doing the impressionism?
I don't know, man. I'm not qualified to talk about arts, even though I like them so much.
Me neither, man.
Point being, happy to see Vasa back. Happy to see him lead this team, and happy to watch some nice Hapoel basketball.
And they're facing postmodernists, Paris, in the next round. So let's see, modern or postmodern is better.